Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
There is record of you beating me on that one.
Yep.
But now we're starting cold, and you have to try again.
Oh, man. So, okay.
Well, I did want
What's
to...
your favorite difficult verse? Everybody always jumps to Rap God, right? But that's so generic, right? Like,
No, I was gonna start with, that crazy story I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
Once I was done editing James' podcast, and he was telling that story of the the NSA scam and everything. Yeah. So that one happened to me. I got that one a week ago.
Okay.
And I was rising up and crashing through.
Bastard.
This is Doc and Ziggy with the Flood. Keep your death threats to 140 characters or less. And as I was saying, I was reminded...
That's a tie.
Alright, it's a wash.
No.
Because I totally was leading it. I get it. Anyway, so I was reminded...
Anyway, you were reminded...
of the Jam story. So this guy calls me, and he's like, your name and everything is registered to a rented car in Texas, found with blood and drugs and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've never even been to Texas. So they're asking how much I have it, how much I had in bank accounts, and they were asking where they had all my public records, where I lived and everything.
We need to know where your funds are located at.
Yeah, and I'm I have 2 checking accounts, and they're like, how much is it? I'm literally $2.
Sir, listen, this is no laughing fucking matter.
And they're like, all right, so
we know what you're up to.
And they're like, do you have any physical?
You're going fucking down.
They're like, do you have any physical collateral? And I'm like, I have my car and my laptop.
Don't play any fucking games with
and
us.
They go do you have any gold or jewels or anything?
This is the United States government you're fucking with here. Do you know what kind
I
of
straight up answer him. I'm like, well, I have my magic cards.
Excuse me?
I was like,
your what?
I was like, exactly. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, Magic the Gathering. And then he's like, well, okay, I will let my superiors know that we have no reason to suspect you for anything.
Oh my god. This nigga was like, he ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. Hang the phone up. We're hanging up.
Little did they know. That I have magic cards that are worth more. The magic cards.
I thought you was about to say more
pound
than
for pound.
Gold.
Oh no, more.
Wait, so
I have magic cards that are worth more than their weight in plutonium.
I feel like that might be a little bit of cap. How much do you think your magic deck weighs?
I mean, if I took the sleeves off and shit, I don't...
So do you think it's worth its weight in gold?
Absolutely. 100% worth its weight in gold.
We may have to...
the average cost of card in my deck is $30.
Damn.
That's the average.
But how much do you think it weighs, though?
I don't know. You want to bust the scale out?
Do you think that app
Just download the app and remind Ted that it is not for weighing drugs.
We will research this a little bit further. This might be a project for the Lighthouse. I want to know.
I mean, no, on break, I will look up the weight of a magic card. How do you convert it, or what the percentage is to convert it into the standard cost of gold on the stock market right now?
Yep.
And then,
it's not a hard equation to do, right? We just have to figure out how much your magic deck weighs. And then we can, calculate its weight in gold.
Yeah, I mean...
And what it would be worth.
I'm
and then
not kidding. I mean, mine might not be worth...
I mean, you've ran some of the numbers down on what, the cost of your collection would be.
I know that 8 years ago, there were over 70 cards that were worth more than their weight in gold. Magic Card's value has since skyrocketed. To where that list is substantially more expensive, I am sure.
All right, Scrooge McDuck. Listen here with your shrewd investment strategy.
Oh, that brings me to another story. One of the wildest Twitter takes that I saw all week.
Oh.
I showed you that one, remember?
Well, remind me.
So they were talking. The guy commented. He was just. They were talking about the wealth tax, and he was just like,
Oh,
everybody,
this guy.
every American at the minimum should be getting $3,000 a week for 36 months. So I pulled out my calculator and I'm like, do. So every American should be getting $156,000 a year from the government completely with no stipulations.
Now we're talking hard leftist wealth
And this person goes,
redistribution.
yes, at the minimum.
At the minimum.
That's a lot of money. And
It
I'm not going to
is.
tweet it, but I'm thinking, that's a lot of money that I know I would not use responsibly.
I mean, are the rich using it responsibly?
And then they were like, I mean, if you can't,
Look,
you know,
we're
just
about to
tax
get-
everybody's, you know, personal belongings, where are we even arguing it about? I'm like, I respond, well, I mean, I guess we can storm the Bastille.
I mean, we are talking some
Like-
hard left communism, right? Like, that's extreme wealth
Oh, yeah.
redistribution.
And I was just like, I
And-
mean, like, yeah, I guess you can storm the Bastille, go
And
for
that's
it.
using the government to, you know, redistribute wealth and leveling the playing
Assuming
field.
that everything gets split evenly.
I mean, how would it get split? Okay,
Look, all right, so
if the argument here
Me
is...
and you would have a problem with this.
Okay, you
like-
said that's $156,000 a year
Per person.
Let me see something right
Now, that's also untaxed. And that is assuming that every single dollar from the tax does go to the redistribution. Hi, Ted.
According to the 2020 U.S. Census, there are 329.5 million Americans.
So you multiply that times 156,000.
That's somewhere in the ballpark of like
$51 trillion? $51 trillion. Dr. Evil didn't ask for that much.
51 true. Whew, God, yeah. Wow.
The stimulus package was like 1.7 trillion.
Oh my God.
Like that is
Yo.
insane.
It's yes, it is.
And then they were like,
insane.
well, and no, and then remember the other part, and then they're like, well, and then we'll never have to work again. And I'm like,
see, those kinds of arguments,
like
are,
if that's like what people are talking about when it comes to the left, I get why they think they're insane.
That's my point. That's what I was getting ready to say. Those are the kinds of arguments that make the conservative right and even like centrists who are teetering on the idea, you know, back off with like and clutch their pearls. Like, nobody work ever again. That's an insane idea. People
That's just nuts.
No, people are going it's nuts because
It's not
I
sustainable.
guess no, it's not even that. Like, systematically, I think human beings are creatures that need to not work, because that sounds like a capitalistic argument. But
busy.
productive, yes. Like, we have a sense of productivity inside of us. Left up to our own devices, eventually, after the fun of not having anything to do wears off, we will find things to do. That's why people started, well, I mean, out of necessity,
right
we
now,
started
this
agriculture
podcast
and
has
stuff.
been something I've been productively doing, and it's helped keeping me sane.
Yeah, so exactly. You know, things that keep you productive help keep you sane. So nobody would sit and not work for the rest of their lives. That's crazy talk. Maybe like a 2% margin of error, which, you know, out of, what did I say, 329 million people, a 2% margin of error accounts for like 20,000 people would not do anything. But that's still a small amount of people compared to the rest of the population.
Can you just look up the gross domestic wealth of America, just to put it in perspective, how insane that number is? 22.32 trillion. Like, this person is...
Okay, but here are some reasons why these figures that we're coming up with aren't, like, really equating to the actual, what would actually happen. excuse me.
Is that just basically like government money?
No, the total of the population, first off, let's start there, I'm sure is also including prisoners, so it's not likely that prisoners would get a portion of that.
6% less of them in Texas right now.
And we have a pretty high prison population. So
One of the highest in the world? Actually, it might just be the highest in the world.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the highest in the world. I mean, the highest reported prison population, wink, wink. I'm sorry, I didn't, look.
F is for friends that do stuff together. G is for the gulag.
Exactly. But yeah, so I don't know. It's not a realistic idea the way it was put by this guy, but wealth redistribution is something that should be considered, especially considering the fact that the wealth gap is the highest that it's been since the 1920s.
Yeah, but
I mean, do I have to pull...
asking for double the GDP
Yeah.
of the country?
God, that was double the GDP. Like, yeah, no. And I also argue, though, that the GDP is that low this year because of COVID. So, like, I don't know, maybe go back to 2016 and see
I
what
mean,
the
it's
GDP
still like
was?
when I heard that, and anybody that's listened to this pod know that, like, we're like, yeah, you know, Andrew, yeah, give us $1,000 a month. That would be sweet. But
The GDP was actually lower in 2016.
like, I would pay off my entire car in 3 weeks.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be fucking nice if you could do something productive with the money that you had instead of, you know, just barely survive?
But I admit, I probably, when it comes to need, I don't need $156,000 from the government. Realistically, I don't.
On the average American household, that means husband, wife, 2 children, needs about $4,000 a month.
Yeah, this person was like $3,000 a week per American.
So, like, if we could break these, let's play with this idea, though. Like, if we can break these numbers down a little bit, right? So, what would you give the average, if you could redistribute wealth, what would you give the average American household? Meaning, husband, wife, and 2 kids.
So I'm just gonna take whatever you say times, like, I'll say 3 because of 2 kids, right?
So, I said 4,000, so you're gonna give them $12,000 a month?
No. I'm saying whatever I would give myself, I'd multiply times 3.
Okay, so what would you give the average single American adult?
Alright, so I mean, if I was just, like, to cover my monthly bills, and...
Do you think the $1,200 from the stimulus check would cut it for your average, everyday, college, collegiate, like, you know, American?
I mean, I'd say, like, to cover my bills, like, $1,200 a month would make me have no financial stress.
So $1,200.
Like, I'd be able to, like, with what I would pull in. I mean, right now we know I'm not working because of COVID destroying the gig job.
Yeah, the gig economy is shot.
But I would be able to, you know, take the money that I get from work. I'd still be able to put some aside and also live, not like extravagantly, but like comfortably. Like, I could go out to dinner
And
on a Friday
experience life
and not
and-
feel
yeah.
terrible about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, the kind of money you would need to feel comfortable in your expenses and still contribute to the spending habits that keep a thriving and booming economy.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, yeah, $1,200 a month would probably cover my bills. I don't need $3,000 a week.
But under what you just
That's how I
said,
end up with a
though,
cocaine problem.
Yeah. Damn. My man said I would experiment if I had that much money. What the fuck you think these rich people are doing? How you think we getting all these, like, weird DMT experiments and shit?
And, you know, Epstein.
Wow. Epstein. Well, he was into all kinds of weird, like, medical research, like the fucking,
Completely unrelated. You like how I'm a walking billboard right now?
Way to just derail an entire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's what I do.
Oh man.
Now, since I did completely derail that conversation,
Yeah, I guess we don't need to go into that thought experiment anymore. You know, this hard leftist talk might get us a little investigated.
hi Ted. So,
So,
wild story.
wild. Ooh, 3 wild stories in a row.
San Antonio Spurs All-Star.
Oh, this is not a personal one.
No. DeMar DeRozan. So somebody tried to rob his house, and
Ate
so
somebody?
DeMar came downstairs and literally chased him out of his house.
Damn, strapped up, ready to go.
I don't know. He
he's in
just
Texas,
like
right?
I didn't. So people were like, "How did you handle that?" And DeMar was just like, "I grew up in Compton. I've dealt with worse."
Grew up in Compton, now lives in Texas. This is
Yeah, he's like, "I grew up in Compton. I've dealt with worse." Now the funny thing is the person who tried to rob DeMar DeRozan was actually trying to rob Kylie Jenner. Oh, so yeah, it's off season. They were living in LA.
Okay, because
This is in LA.
Yep. So, follow-up question answered. Follow-up question answered. Damn. So my man had the wrong house first and foremost. Second off, still got ran out. Still got ran off. My man stood his ground.
And 3. If
3.
you're gonna rob
Three
someone, you probably shouldn't rob somebody who's not scared of looking down a gun.
Well,
Which I'm gonna guess, DeMar DeRozan? Probably not.
Nah, I mean, it's 2022. Like, a lot of motherfuckers is probably just ready to die, right? Like, Biggie style. You run up in somebody, the wrong person crib, and they might just ask you, like, hey, can you know...
And I mean, from the rock perspective, like, a third of our songs about killing ourselves. So...
Take what you want. Just, you know...
I'm a happiness I know.
Put one between my eyes on the way out.
Oh, so you were
can have
talking
what you
about
need.
the her? Have you ever heard him?
Oh, yes.
All right, I'm not even meaning that as a joke. Like,
No, yeah. Right, look.
Ooh, there's a mashup. Her and him.
Oh, God.
And we'll call them them.
What would... Wow. Welcome. You're welcome, 2020. Strong black girl energy with genderless white guy in a white form.
The most... No. He's not genderless. He's certainly a man. But he is the most effeminate man-pretty man.
God.
And he's singing...
What would that album even sound like? So, we're talking like... It's gonna be a blues album.
So no, would it be like
blues
the
album.
would it be like the instrumentals are led by her or by the band him?
The instrumental side is
It
definitely
would
gonna be led
dark.
by the
It would be a
band.
dark album.
It would be a blues album. Like it would be a fucking rhythm and blues album, like with death metal tones to it.
No,
And-
not death metal tones. If you're thinking blues, you got to think to the roots. That's gonna be like a blues album written at the crossroads.
That's my point. It'll end up sounding like some weird Led Zeppelin.
It'll
tribute.
sound like Robert Johnson.
death metal.
No.
I know that's not death metal, but I mean
Robert
yeah,
Johnson.
Yeah, no, the
You know
dude
him.
who sold his soul.
He sold
to
his
the
soul
devil.
at the crossroads.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. I'm just making.
Devil went down to Georgia.
It was
and
a
he's looking
reach.
for a soul to steal.
It was a reach. I sprained my elbow with that reach. But anyway.
I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul that says I'm better than you. Well, I said my name Johnny, and it might be a sin.
Where's
but
that-
I'll take your bet, and you're gonna regret it, because I'm the best there's ever been.
Are you still singing Devil Went Down to Georgia? Where is the band Him from?
Norway.
Oh God! All right.
No, Finland.
Finland.
It's Finland, Norway, or Sweden, but I'm pretty sure it's Finland.
Let's see. Where is her from? California. So California meets the Nordic.
Meets the Nordic Peninsula.
I'm just. That would be.
I'll be right here in my arms, so in love.
That would be a fusion for the. That should have come out sounding like some weird Billie Eilish shit.
Yeah, I could see it. It would probably be like a #1 hit that's like a Black Power album with a Nine Inch Nails backing beat.
Like when Trent Reznor helped Dr. Dre on Chronic 2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that type of thing. And that sounds dope. That sounds dope.
It's a weird, like...
I mean, my Beautiful Dark
crossovers.
Twisted Fantasy had a lot of Nine Inch Nails sound to it.
Hip-hop rock crossovers, I feel like, are always hit or miss.
Jay-Z Linkin Park, slam dunk.
Limp Bizkit.
Why are we always mentioning Limp Bizkit now every episode? It used to be Eminem.
Shout out to Fred Durst.
Fred Durst will shout himself out.
I mean,
Chocolate stuff fit!
he could come on here and shout himself out.
And hot dog! Alright, yeah, Fred Durst, if you want to get on here, sure. I will do my best to not make fun of you, and we'll just bond over fitted hats.
I've heard he's a pretty, chill dude, and don't he got a show on, whatever the fucking real estate TV channel is where they be
On
flipping
Quibi?
houses? No. He had like a house flipping show. Or was that Vanilla Ice? I might be getting
Is
my
Vanilla
white-
Ice dead?
No, he's not dead.
I could have sworn I saw like Vanilla Ice was dead a couple of years ago.
Yo, that shit is always trending. Like, who's another one they always be trying to kill off?
Rick Astley? No, Rick Astley I think actually died.
Yeah, Rick Astley is dead. For real. But no, Vanilla Ice is still alive. I think it was fucking Robin Williams. Before he had to edit them clicks out. It was Robin Williams. Before he died, he was always like trending for like dying before it. And it sucked.
And
when
now
he
it's not
finally
funny.
Nope. I made myself sad.
Pour one out for the homie.
R.I.P. Robin Williams. R.I.P. Mac Miller. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Tupac.
Nipsey
Nipsey Hussle.
David Bowie,
Prince.
Muhammad Ali.
Michael Jackson.
That one's like, alright, so...
Wow!
Alright, this is a question. Is it really just...
Are we gonna
We
do
always
this?
love Michael?
Are we gonna do this? You really want to hash this out right now?
No, I
Like-
just want to know, is it like everybody loves Lil Michael?
Okay, so my question is, do you think he touched them kids? Yeah, I'm gonna ask it like that.
Probably.
No, like, what do you mean probably? Like, definitively,
Yeah.
you think he touched them kids?
Yeah.
I don't think Mike touched them kids. I think he may have exposed himself to them children. The camera shut off. It's like, I want no parts of this. No.
We already had a weird 10 moment where it was
Yeah.
the most hummed songs by Google, and you just start humming, and Google, oh my god, why does your phone go off again? Oh my god, Dez isn't supposed to be doing homework on my computer while we're recording this, right?
No, that's. Can we? Let that shit up.
Oh
That
shit,
go
that
to
would be
voicemail.
bad. You would have a major parent-teacher
No,
conference.
it's Sunday. Yeah, my normal job shouldn't be calling me on after hours.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I totally forgot what we were just talking about.
Me too. That threw me off for a loop. Fuck.
Break time! Okay, we were gonna go for a break, but then we realized that this is, like, really important. So Is it Jackie? Is it Jesse? Oh, I know, it's Michael Jackson.
Okay, so one thing I want to point out that I feel like isn't really discussed often is a lot of the time when people have like pedophilic tendencies, it's something that shows up early on in life, right? Like you don't just become a pedophile out of nowhere.
Wasn't
And
he the
maybe-
youngest of the Jackson 5?
Yeah, but I'm not, and I'm not a psychologist. I just feel like Mike never showed any pedophilic tendencies until all of a sudden one little kid shows up. And I'm not saying that the nigga wasn't weird. He was on drugs. He was drugged out of his fucking mind, right?
Yeah, didn't he die with like a fuck ton of heroin in his system?
I mean, it was fentanyl, but
Ooh. He got the early wave.
yo, Mike was being pumped full of them shits ever since the Pepsi accident, right? And I legit
Pepsi accident?
Yeah, Like when he caught his hair on fire? You don't remember? What? Dog, you don't remember that? So Mike was filming a fucking Pepsi commercial, and
When was this?
this was like 1989, and like some bad pyrotechnic explosion went off. This was like pre-transition Michael. Like this was
So still black post nose job.
yes, post nose job, short Jerry curl Michael.
Okay. So like bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was like Michael on top of the game.
Yeah.
Like before he became like a tabloid joke.
He was the king of pop.
This was when Michael was putting like weird shit into the tabloids for them to talk about. Because like I don't know if you know that, but like the whole hyperbolic time chamber thing, like that came from, he planted that story. He used to call the tabloids with fake stories about himself all the time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was like trolling them before, and then it got out of hand after the Pepsi commercial shit. Which was when he was filming a Pepsi commercial and a bad pyrotechnic explosion happened that caught him on fire, causing third-degree burns all over like the back of his skull and like his face and shit like that. And
Maybe that's why the Jerry curl went out of style.
And that is when Mike got really weird, Joe. And it's because they were pumping him full of all the drugs he could afford. And all I'm saying is, when you that high all the time, maybe you do some questionably dumb shit. And I'm not saying Mike was fucking them kids. I'm just saying maybe Mike was high and doing questionably dumb shit. And somebody decided to take advantage of that. Because legitimately Mike did some questionably dumb shit. So all I'm saying is, yes, rest in peace, Michael Jackson, because
all right,
he's not R.
here's
Kelly.
another thing.
He's not R. Kelly, is all I'm trying to say.
Does my delegation take the L?
I mean, Conrad Murray was black, so...
But so was Robert Downey Jr.
I feel like we all take the L for Michael Jackson.
Just a societal L?
Yes. I'm going to blame that on society. It's the Kanye thing, right? Like, you get so famous to a point where all you were surrounded by is, like, yes men. And nobody around Michael went, hey, maybe it's cool for you to have a park for kids, but maybe you shouldn't let them in your fucking bed, yo. Like, that's a little weird, Mike. Like, nobody around this man who's worth, I don't know, probably what would be today, like, billions of fucking dollars. When nobody around that man went, yeah, like, that part, cut that shit out, bro. Like, you're gonna ruin the money for everybody. No, they just kept pumping that nigga full of drugs, and he was like, I want to be like Peter Pan, and they were like, sure, Mike, just sign the checks if you can.
Bars!
Like, come on.
Bars! Bars! Unintentional bars!
I don't know. Maybe I'm, making excuses for something because I'm having a hard time rationalizing with the fact that one of my heroes may have been, like, a predator, but calling Mike one of my heroes, too, might be a stretch.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like,
I'm also...
Lord knows my delegation's got some problems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also willing to fully accept the fact that R. Kelly is a predator, right? But R. Kelly was sexually abused. The dude's a weird dude, Joe, and it's because he's mentally... I mean, y'all saw the fucking interview. He's mentally not all the way there,
I've seen the episode of the Boondocks.
That episode of
Why do you support R. Kelly? Because he good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for separating art from the artist, right? But also holding people accountable for their actions is something I truly believe in as well. And yeah, I don't know. R. Kelly got some work to... Maybe he need Yanla. I don't know. He needs somebody to fix his life. But on that note, break time!
What are some things I remember about G4 TV? I remember Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb on, I can't remember the name of the show, but I just remember we all loved to make fun of Adam Sessler.
Yo, X-Play was my shit, right? Like, cause it really did give I was watching something earlier and it was like it gave gamers a voice for how to talk about their
The introduction to Olivia Munn.
Yes, but that was Attack of the Show though.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah, I mean, it really did give like language to express, I guess, the culture of gaming, right?
Like, I learned video game history because
to make it sound all like fancy and
I can't remember the name of the show again, but it was like, it would tell the history of certain video games, which I thought was really dope.
shit. Yeah, but that was one of the things, and like I guess the informal production to a lot of their shows and like their off-kilter sketches and stuff. Like, it's all stuff that we're all too familiar
It
with
raised
now.
a whole generation to be socially awkward.
But it also helped those socially awkward kids find community, right? Like, these kids that were sitting in their house playing these video games and all that. It just, I don't know, like, the reunion special, it really did bring me back to a nice, simple time when, yeah, all we really had to worry about was the new video game releases.
So, here's the thing. What do you think G4 is going to do now?
Shit, I mean, they set the blueprint, so all they really have to do is kind of pick up where they left off, for real.
So, here's what I'm thinking G4 is going to be now. G4 is going to be the new ESPN.
You think they're gonna lean into the esport?
Why
way?
wouldn't they?
I definitely see the room for playing that up now, especially because they were the first ones to stream an esport.
But they were like only
competition.
doing like SOCOM. Because
Yeah.
there was like, G4 was around for the PlayStation 2 generation. It never got to the PlayStation 3 generation, really.
So you watched the whole reunion. At the end of it, did they elaborate more on what was to come?
Yeah,
for-
so they were like, are you guys going to be on basic cable? Are you guys going to be on cable? And
Yeah.
they said, yeah, well, Comcast pays the bill, so you
Yes.
figure it out.
Yeah, I see that a lot of their production heads are heads at certain divisions at Comcast in general. So it looks like the channel itself may come back in some way, shape,
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be the new ESPN for esports. Like, why wouldn't they have, like, an hour-long show each day, like, giving us updates on NLS? Like,
I could see that being
Or
an
LCS.
aspect of the channel, right? Like maybe even the main focus of the channel, but I think they would be doing an extreme disservice to themselves if they didn't bring in some of these Twitch streamers and allowed them to expand.
and you
on
have,
their-
you know, kind of shows that just bring in culture, like how
Exactly.
ESPN has Jalen and Jacoby.
Yeah, I see where you're going. I see where you're leaning at.
ESPN is more than SportsCenter at this
No,
point.
that's true. It definitely has evolved into a whole cultural.
Because ESPN still has like 30 for 30s, which are documentaries.
Right.
You know, ESPN still has like all of their off-kilter shit. They have daily shows about specific sports.
So what's something that you would like to see from G4 aside from more esports streaming?
I mean, for starters, I don't follow esports because I don't know exactly really what to follow, or
Right.
there's so much out there. So having G4 like have a sports center would be like, okay, this is the shit that's important.
So it would help.
These are the people that really matter.
It would help streamline things in a way that would make it more digestible for you.
Yeah.
And really, and bring in an audience that probably is interested in it, but is having the same issue that you're having, where it's like, I don't.
People
even
are
know
like,
where to
have
start."
you ever watched this streamer? I'm like, I have no idea who that is.
Right.
Like,
right.
what did they play? I mean,
I
sure,
mean,
you'll
all
still
we
have.
know, and all we know now is like Ninja and Pokimane. Right?
I mean, a
Like,
lot of
to-
people know a lot more streamers. Just anybody
was
that
gonna
knows
say
me
to-
personally knows I don't watch streamers.
No.
But, like, say you have, like, a major streamer, and then they bring in guest streamers who are niche streamers, and then I find out about them. Like,
Right.
say, hypothetically, they have a league show hosted by Dyrus, you know, really famous,
Yeah.
like, Hall of Fame, quote-unquote, League of Legends player.
I just
And then you would have, like, say he's doing an episode specifically on, I don't know, Shyvana. He would bring in a Shyvana one-trick streamer to, like, go and be a guest.
Right. I just don't want G4 to lean too much into, I guess, what collapsed the channel in the first place, which was the like public access attitude that they had, you know, where things were too fast and loose on the channel, and I don't want them to spend too much money too fast on unsustainable things. Like, I don't want them to get too
not
niche.
get enough money so where they have to do unsustainable things.
Right. I don't want them to get to the point where they're just running fucking Ninja Warrior all day.
Well, I'll tell you for one thing, they're not going to run Cops anymore.
Or Cops. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
That's what G4, I was like, what's going on? Like, when they stopped being a video game channel,
That's because...
and they started airing, like Cops, and then that Codebreaker show, I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird. You know, I kind of just want to watch that. You know, I like the History show. I like Attack from the Show. That was the other thing. I always knew what games were coming out because of Attack of the Show.
And X-Play and stuff like that.
Mainly X-Play.
I would like to see them also, though, bring on some of these, like, YouTubers and Twitch streamers and let them expand upon, like, some of the other things that they're doing outside of their gaming.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things I saw. So there's apparently a really big wrestler who did, like, streaming and things like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but because of WWE rules, they're not allowed to stream, like it's in their contract or something like that. So eventually he was just like, screw you guys, like,
Right.
I do better streaming than I do as a wrestler.
That part.
So now he's on G4, like, he's gonna be a G4 personality.
Xavier Woods?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he was the first one that came up under wrestlers that stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that part is cool. Like, I'm interested to see where this new channel is going to go. And like I said, if they're going to carry that same attitude and vibe that they had the first time around. Because
my friend Justin told me perfectly. He was like, you know, the wrestlers we grew up watching were like, you know, college athletes who couldn't make it or anything like that. Wrestlers now are people who grew up on wrestling.
Yeah, and train themselves and condition themselves.
They're
to be
nerds.
wrestlers. Yeah, they're wrestling nerds. I mean, and that's what I would like for G4 to not only be gaming culture, but also embrace nerd culture.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to see them do, you know, comic stuff as well as video game stuff. And,
like, having you know, I missed when they would do, like, E3 coverage, and now they can do, like, Comic-Con coverage.
but they were doing Comic-Con coverage and stuff like that, too. Like I said, they were more than just a gaming channel. And that's why I said I don't want them to lean too much on the esports thing and become strictly a gaming channel, because I feel like that'll put them into too much, even though gaming is huge now, right? Like,
I would
bigger than
love
what it
to
was.
watch, you know, like that Video Game History channel, and then I'd watch a game at X-Play, and then, you know, like, if I got an hour long, like, Sports Center, quote unquote, of esports, I would totally watch that.
Well, like,
but I just don't want to, like, you're right, I don't want to just watch nothing but esports.
video game stuff all day. Like, Nerdificent, the podcast, just ended. And it would be tight if, you know, Nerdificent was brought back on G4 and a visual platform instead of a podcast platform that allowed them to explore nerd culture in a way. Or maybe even...
And use visuals.
Right. Or maybe even pick your boys up, you know? Hit us up. Give us a
bag.
show. And
Bag!
let us surf through pop culture, because that's also a part of, like, gaming culture and shit like that too. So, I mean, gamers care about politics to an extent, and we don't just talk about politics and stuff like.
We're done. We don't want to anymore.
Don't. No, I mean, thankfully.
Like I told you when we were off recording, I read a Trump tweet and I was like, you know what? This doesn't matter.
Nope.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it does to an extent, but we don't. It doesn't have to be the main focus of events anymore. But yeah, G4, hit us up. Give us that bag.
So speaking of G4 coming back and all of the stuff that they can do with internet gaming, fuck Ajit Pai.
Yes.
You have
Another
resigned.
thing.
FCC, let it be net neutrality.
Yeah, hopefully we get net neutrality back. You know, it's just another piece of another round in the snowball effect.
That reminds
is
us
the
all
end of the
that
presidency.
none of this is normal. Drop mic, we're done. Half an hour in, we're it. That's it, we're done.
Some people would probably be all too happy with that. They'd be like, thank God, a short episode. Look, if that's what you wanted, why did you come here? There are other podcasts for that. But it's like, stay here, though, because you know you love it here.
Yep. Just
But-
chill in the lazy river. Just on your raft.
Like I said, though, another round in the snowball effect that is the removal of the Trump presidency. We are watching another one of the toxic pieces of this puzzle being removed.
Draining the swamp.
They reversed the repeal of DACA the other day. The House of Representatives voted, not unanimously, but overwhelmingly to overturn the marijuana criminalization effort and
Smoke weed every day.
and overturn nonviolent felony charges on criminal marijuana possession. The UN the other day decided to change its language on how fucking marijuana is talked about. Like, it just, I mean, 2020's been a shit
Hot
year.
trees, weed, green.
2020's
Mary
been a
Jane.
shit year, but, you know,
That's skunky weed.
in the things that we can be thankful for,
Ganja. What are some other ones?
grass,
Grass. That's-
gas,
Grass, gas, diesel, dope,
smoke,
smoke, peace pipe.
peace pipe, I feel like that's peyote. So now you're taking a trip into psychedelics. Have you ever done any psychedelics before? Should we
I have
discuss
done
that?
acid twice. Once it worked. And
Once
I've
it
done
worked. What do you
mushrooms
mean it
once.
Did the mushrooms work?
The mushrooms, when I took them, it was in like a year after high school, and me and my friend just wanted to like chill out and watch the visualizer to a Pink Floyd album because we wanted to live in a stereotype. And my brother was like, get out. So then we moved to the garage, and then he was like, get out. And I was like, why are you taking both? And then he punched me in the face. And then I went outside, and I was like laying in the middle of the sidewalk, really pissed off. And then my friend John drove up, and he picked me up. And then, no, wait, I forgot the part when my mom gave me 2 Xanax. And then we went driving around in the car.
Holy shit, so you were tripping on shrooms and Xanax?
Yeah, and I remember getting
Shit.
really excited, air drumming along to the song Smile Like You Mean It by The Killers, and then everything else goes black, probably because I was given 2 Xanax.
And the Xanax. Then the Xanny bars.
By my
kicked in.
mom.
Hello, Mom. Hi, Ted.
What's up, John?
And then the one time the acid worked, I actually took notes, so I could tell you, like, with timestamps and everything about
Oh,
what I
shit.
all saw.
Because why would you not take notes?
I don't know. I mean, like, I would have been great for that 60s LSD experiment. Just like 1147.
You mean MK Ultra? The one that gave us all of our celebrities to this day?
Oh, yeah. That one.
Oh, man.
Master reptilian race. But, yeah, I could pull that up. Like, I actually have the notes. Like, I posted them on Reddit just to see what people would think.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I remember seeing, like, I was blowing a cloud with vape, and the vapor turned into, like, a phoenix.
What?
Yeah. And then I remember, like, it felt like ripples are running across my head, and all the colors seemed more vivid, and I remember writing down, Monet is a genius. I went outside, and I swear there was a green tiger in our backyard.
But why would there... I mean...
And then I saw
all know
all
it's
of the,
the
like,
acid,
trees
right?
turn into, like, a snake.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Then the acid kicked in hard, huh?
Yeah, no, there was a couple other things. I wrote it all down. Because why not? Like, if you're... It was one of those things where it was like, afterwards, I want to make sure I don't forget anything.
Damn. I've never...
So it's exactly like I'm doing right now.
I was gonna say, I've never had the wherewithal to... I've always just been an experienced kind of person. Like, I don't take notes while I'm... Or when I've ever allegedly tripped.
Well, I mean, it was just one of those things. It was like, I was in the moment, and then I was like, snap. This is weird. This is cool.
Let's
Give me like 15 seconds to just like actually write it down and check my watch. And then Yeah, because I was timestamping it too.
Oh. You're wild, Joe.
So I think the whole experience, if I remember, was like the span of like 6 hours.
Speaking of not being yourself in gaming, to tie it all back into something relevant.
What, my acid trips aren't relevant?
I was also on, what was it, The Verge, I believe, and I saw an article about a Twitch streamer who had all of her videos taken down because she streams under the avatar. Oh fuck, what was the avatar called? And then I just closed the goddamn screen down. So she streams under an avatar, a virtual avatar called Melody, and the artist who designed the avatar was claiming that she still owed him money for the design and put up a copyright claim forcing Twitch to take down all of her videos and streaming videos. And more streamers are opting for these virtual avatars and I guess hosting videos under these virtual mediums. Pokimane, just as we mentioned earlier, one of the top streamers on Twitch at the moment, also just debuted a new virtual avatar for her streams. And I just found that whole idea kind of wild, like not owning the rights to your own body in this sense.
Oh, I actually have a funny personal story about a top streamer on Twitch.
Okay.
So, I was playing Arita, and it was one of the seasons that I was in Mythic, and I played against this person named Bloody, and I had no idea who they were. Turns out they're like a huge streamer on Twitch.
Oh, so you were playing against a streamer.
No idea who they were, and they were like ranked 10th, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm playing against a 10th ranked player.
My man
I
was like-
fucking destroyed them in 5 minutes. Like, absolutely
You would.
destroy them.
Damn, I bet you that didn't make the stream.
And if it did, it was fucking hilarious. I was playing this really crazy deck, and I was just like, duress you turn 1. And they're like, shit. Next turn, Arcanist. People that play Magic will understand this. And they're like, okay, do a thing. And I'm like, attack with Arcanist. Duress you. Fuck your hand.
Shit.
So it's basically like, imagine you have 5 choices, and then I'm like, I'm gonna take 2 of them away.
Yeah. Damn. So you just cut.
I'm gonna take 2 of them away by your 3rd turn.
And how many turns do you need?
It was a lot less after that, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because if you
so,
cut.
Maddie one night was like, can I use your account to practice? Because you have all of the cards. And I'm like, sure, here, use my account. Just don't play ranked. She messages me and she's like, oh my god, I'm playing against Bloody. And I'm like, who's Bloody?
Who the fuck is Bloody?
Who the fuck is Bloody? And she goes, she's one of the top streamers. So I check, and I'm like, oh, it's that person. I go into the chat.
That person that I completely.
Yeah, I go into the chat, and and you know, my Twitch stream is Ziggy Starscream.
Right.
And I comment, I'm like, wait a second, is this fucking ranked? And they're like, are you stream sniping? I'm like, for starters, I don't know what that means.
Right. Like, I'm not.
And 2, no, I let somebody borrow my account to practice. I told them not to play ranked, and then they were like, "Oh, you're using someone to account. Oh, you're stream sniping. Oh, you're doing all of these illegal things. Hey, you're probably not even good enough to beat me." And I go, "What are you talking about? I busted your ass the other day in 5 minutes." And then,
So you had
then
to
she just
call
gets
them,
butthurt for the entirety of the stream, and she kicks
Of
Maddie's
course.
ass.
Damn.
And she's
Poor
like, oh
Maddie.
man, you must be trash. I'm like, no, that's literally not me.
Yeah.
I will play you and fucking destroy you.
Like, let's go. Let's go. If you gonna talk that hot shit, then you best not jump off the pot. Let's get
and then I
ready
see
for it.
all of these things, it's like she's getting invited to like this like players championship and everything, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, I fucking destroyed you.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
like not even close.
Damn, my man said it was not a contest. No contest. You got washed. Stop talking
And
cat.
even better, if we ever played again, I have such a mental advantage now.
Because I already know how you roll.
Not only that, and be like, now is it me? Or is it me?
Ah. That's the
And I know that for a fact, she fucking hates me.
Damn.
Because of that.
Damn.
So I thought about for like 20 seconds about messaging her on Twitter and being like, you know what, I'm sorry, I didn't, like, that really
Yeah,
wasn't me.
yeah, right.
And then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Hey, he turned the Christmas lights on.
It's all festive in here. I hope you guys are having a good holiday season with all the COVID nonsense and all that's still going on.
Alright, so let's just blow through some of this, rest of this news stuff real quick.
Oh, so
They're gonna restore DACA.
Yes, I mentioned that earlier. Yep, DACA is getting restored. Ajit Pai is walking out.
2 vaccines are really in the works for COVID.
Yes, and
So that means some of this might potentially be coming to an end soon. I know that they're going to give the first wave of it to health workers, which
Yes.
makes total sense.
Yep, and I guess with that we will discover whether or not this vaccine is actually worth, or these vaccines are actually worth their salt. So I don't know. They're saying it looks like 6 months, maybe less, depending on how things happen.
Another one of this isn't as quite of a fast hit, but Pokemon actually was not able to use Kadabra in the anime or the card game since like 2006 because Uri Geller, the famous 70s magician famous for bending spoons, he said that like because the Japanese name is a corruption of his name. His name is Uri Geller, and then the Japanese name for Kadabra is Urine Geller.
Oh, for real?
Or Urine Geller, something like that.
I did not know that.
So it's a direct, like, Alakazam's Japanese name is Houdin. Or Houdini.
Okay.
Okay. So, you go from sham, I bend spoons to, the greatest escape artist of all time.
Right. For the 2 psychic, magical Pokemon.
Yeah, and then the baby version is just the guy who, wrote books about it and stuff like that.
So Yuri was putting a hard stop on them reprinting.
Yeah, because he was like, you guys are making me look like a devil spawn.
So his whole thing wasn't that they're not paying him money. He was just upset with the portrayal of... Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Petty School 101.
And recently he was like, you're allowed now! And we're like, alright, that's cool. Fuck you.
Thank you,
that's
you're
cool.
gracious. How honorable is
He even said, my very rare Kadabra card. And I'm like...
Wow. So essentially, he created a demand market so he kind of inflated the value of this card by...
More like he was just throwing out a fishing line for relevancy.
Remember me. Remember me.
Alright, I have some title shifts.
Okay.
You ready for some title shifts? I gotta think of a sound drop. Right now, the one I have in my head is a toilet flush.
Wow. Lay it on me.
Alright, so, the first one. Jesus.
It's a great starter. Alright.
Jesus and Russell Brand.
What?
You don't have to change the art very much.
So, Cesar Borgia?
No, more like get him to the Greek. Alright, so I'm thinking if you replace Jesus and get him to the Greek with Russell Brand.
Wow.
Or no, you replace Russell Brand with Jesus, and then you put the get him into the Greek Russell Brand into the New Testament.
So you just want to see Jesus hopped up on a bunch of drugs on his way to a performance.
When the world flips you across.
What kind of music do you think Jesus would make?
I think Jesus would make we talked about them, the Devil Wears Prada, remember? The band?
Oh, yes.
They're a Christian band.
Oh, God.
With all the screaming and
God.
everything.
Wow. I mean, Evanescence, right?
Creed.
Yep. What's another?
I feel like Jesus would have better taste than to make a band that sounds like Creed.
Isn't Godsmack a Christian band, too?
No, they're not.
They're not?
Mm-mm.
What's the name?
I'm not the one who's so far away when you feel the snake bite.
I feel like there's
into my
another one that I'm
vein.
missing. So you think that Jesus would? I think Jesus would make like a bluegrass Americana kind of music. He'd be like fucking Bruce Springsteen.
All right, white Jesus.
If we're talking about Russell Brand Jesus here, right? So yeah, totally.
Killer Mike is really mad at you right now.
You're the one who came up with the switch. No, Killer Mike is mad at you, my guy.
Why is it that white hippie-like people trust brown people with beards so much?
Well, they want to believe in enlightenment and in all the media portrayals of enlightenment and all of, when people talk about mystical experiences they had in India, it's always that part of the world that emphasizes spirituality and the idea that the Hindu religion is a more ancient, more complex spiritual religion as opposed to
the Indian yogi figure is the white Jesus figure of white people.
100%.
So for white people who don't know, white Jesus in the black community is a mythical creature that has enormous power, right? It's insane for anyone to believe in a deity that doesn't look like them, right? So, but in the black community, we're just in love with Renaissance paintings, and Jesus is white as fuck. All right. So we have the same infatuation that your weird hippie aunt has with Indian men with long beards and their mysticism. We have that with white Jesus.
Definitely like a Bruce Springsteen cover band kind of Jesus.
Those songs would be lit. All right.
I mean, don't rub. What was it? Rub the furry wall. Like,
When no one flips you, Jeffrey, stroke the furry wall. All right. Here's another one. Harriet Tubman
oh God, what is with you today?
and Tiffany Haddish.
What kind of high class coonery are you trying to do to Harriet Tubman? Oh my God, I cannot let you sully the name of such an honorable woman. No disrespect to Tiffany Haddish.
No, I'm saying that, all right, so all of their achievements remain the same. Here, Tiffany Haddish is now a revered figure in American history.
I feel like this is an episode of Drunk History that has already been done. Tiffany Haddish is Harriet Tubman? Come on, who else would be Harriet Tubman? Leslie Jones? Like, no. All
right.
Monique.
I got one more.
I won't accept anything else.
I got one more, and apparently John Mulaney already did it, but Julius Caesar and Donald Trump. What's more interesting, Julius Caesar as president or Trump as emperor?
I feel like Julius Caesar as president probably would have been less problematic.
I think so too, honestly.
I mean, but that joke John
It
Mulaney...
would have also been a much more strong-arm North Korea discussion.
That joke John Mulaney did was so problematic it got him investigated by Homeland Security.
What was the joke? I haven't heard it.
The joke was about how it was a leap year, and a leap year had been started by Julius Caesar to correct the calendar. Another thing that happened when Julius Caesar was Another thing that happened when Julius Caesar was stabbed to death by a bunch of senators because he went crazy. And I think that's something interesting that could happen. So, yeah, no.
Huh! Huh. You've been busy lately, Ted, haven't you?
In jokes comparing Donald Trump to famous historical figures outside of Hitler, I feel like that was maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek. A little bit.
Can you imagine Donald Trump sitting there on his literal fucking... I'm imagining Trump not on a horse, but like a little burro. And he's just sitting there like...
shitting himself.
This water! You go first, and you carry me across it. This is that Rubicon.
Oh, so this is Trump as a
Trump
Roman
as
emperor?
Julius Caesar.
Oh, God. Yeah, no. Just feed me grapes.
Coliseum? I guess. Loser!
This Coliseum is trash. It needs more gold. Where are the gold seats? Where's the skybox?
The Roman times are fake news. Clearly you have to read the Republic.
The senators, they don't love me.
They don't love me. They don't love me the way all of you do. Shut up! We fucking hate you!
Bring back Nero! Oh, God. Yeah, no, Trump is definitely...
We're looking forward to Caligula compared to you.
Trump is definitely more of a Nero than he is a Julius.
He's probably more of a Caligula than any of them.
I don't know. I don't have Trump fucking his sister. I guess Trump doesn't have any sisters to fuck.
I do have Trump
fucking
trying... I mean, I could see him fucking his sister. But I also imagine him being like, I want to be the Silver Knight. Stab Russell Crowe first, and then let me fight him.
Wow. You got it going down like that, gladiator style. I don't
Yup.
even got Trump getting
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Like, that's such one of the most epic lines in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Gladiator. If you guys haven't watched Gladiator, watch it. It's an incredible movie. Incredible movie.
What's more epic, that or Russell Crowe and fuck, why did the movie?
The answer is Gladiator.
You think so?
Yeah.
Then the Braveheart speech? Or
That's
not
Mel
Russell Crowe.
Gibson.
I know, my bad. Look, I couldn't.
You're
remember.
getting your other problematic white guy confused.
I couldn't remember the fucking name of the movie just a second ago. How was I supposed to remember the actor? But no. So you think that the Gladiator speech is more epic than Mel Gibson and Braveheart?
Yes.
What's the most
Yes.
epic speech in a movie you can think of?
The most epic speech in a movie that I can think of.
Ooh, here's one for you. Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction or Denzel Washington in Training Day?
I feel like Denzel in Training Day makes for a shorter movie.
I'm saying which speech is more epic?
Which speech are you talking about? Are you talking about like the okay, I'm gonna bring cases on all of you?
Yes.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit
That
on
speech
me.
or the one in Pulp Fiction where, and thou shalt know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. That speech. Which one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue. You were saying something about best intentions? What's the matter? Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort. What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What? What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Yes. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He's black. Go on. He's bald. Does he look like a bitch? What? Does he look like a bitch? No! Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett? He didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett? Yes. Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits the case. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay
I'm gonna
my
go with
finger
Samuel L.
Ain't got shit on me.
I'm gonna
Nah.
go with Samuel L.
Nope, I can't condone it. I can't condone it. King Kong ain't got shit on me. It's so epic that now every time somebody knows they're about to get taken out, they say that shit, Joe. It's translated into other fucking movies at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, so if I'm thinking like great monologues, I'm thinking a lot of like, so the one that really popped into my head, and it's not the words itself, but it's the whole mannerism and how he portrays and owns the scene.
Yeah.
And it's Joker when he goes into the mob boss room.
You would.
And he's like, no, and just the whole way he commands it, where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
Heath Ledger's performance was A1. It was definitely A1. What's another one? What about Christopher Walken in True Romance?
It's a good one. Jack Nicholson, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but he's like, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, that's not A Few Good Men. God damn it.
I can't remember the name of the movie either, but that monologue is epic.
I'm trying to think of another one. I can't think of. Let us know.
Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting.
You guys
Also Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society.
You guys hit us up. Let us know what you think are some of the most epic movie monologues of all time.
You can tell me about all of Shakespeare's sonnets, but you can never tell me what it feels like to be in love with someone, to be in love with a woman.
Oh, I finally saw that episode of the Animaniacs where they had the rap battle, by the way. That shit was all the way corny. It was
all the way.
I mean, cute.
All the way.
It was totally cute or whatever. Haha, good job. But this shit was still all the way.
All the way corny.
Their little Kanye West clone or whatever the fuck it was. Like
the embodiment of hip hop.
I feel like everybody's bars were hot doo-doo garbage.
Everything was trash. Everything was trash.
They totally could have got somebody else to. I mean, come on, like Tyler the Creator was on an episode of Regular Show. Like
Mark Hamill voices a character on Regular Show. He also, of course, is Luke Skywalker.
Oh, he skips.
He skips. He is also, of course, the Batman the Animated Series Joker.
Yes, the Joker.
Yeah, no,
that
like
is
I've said
I'm
that.
sorry, all my Heath Ledger stands.
I want to watch. I want them to make a Batman movie
with
where
Mark Hamill as the fucking Joker.
No. They have the perfect physical castings for the Joker and Batman, and then they just voice over the entire movie with Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker.
I would watch it.
I would watch the fuck out of that.
Oh shit, Mark Hamill is also in fucking Metalocalypse.
I mean, Mark Hamill is one of the most prolific voice actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like Phil Lamar.
Yeah.
Shout out to
like Mark Hamill is a cultural icon. Well, I have some potential deepest of state marketing.
Explain yourself.
So, Quibi made the quote-unquote news.
Still? Even after their death.
With a quote-unquote show that was going to be on Quibi called Jack Sparrow House.
In today's case of who the fuck asked for this.
Yes.
It's me, the guy who asked.
Hey, who man is this?
What is this?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that? But why?
Who man is this?
You serious?
Oh, I saw this stupid
shit. Which the premise is that it was basically like Big Brother and they're all living in the same house, but it's nothing but Jack Sparrow impersonators and they cannot break character. And then they said they had to stop production because 2 of the Jack Sparrow characters started to get into a fight, and a third one they found out couldn't be there because it was within 500 feet of an elementary school.
So one of them was a sex crim? I mean...
Probably.
In a handful of Jack Sparrow impersonators, don't we expect one of them to be a sex crim?
That's fair. Don't we expect one of them to actually be Johnny Depp?
Alright, who was that fucking Charlie Chaplin that entered into a Charlie Chaplin contest and
he lost, third? Yeah.
Fucking came in third. How do you come in third in a fucking look-alike contest?
When you are the person
that they're supposed to look alike.
Ridiculous.
Would you watch What was it called? Like, did
Jack
they
Sparrow House.
The Jack Sparrow.
And yes, I would watch it. Absolutely.
Are you
Especially
serious?
if it was in 5-minute bits on Quibi.
Wow. Well, I guess, yeah, because Quibi is what?
I guarantee
5
you,
to
people
15
went
minutes?
onto Quibi to check and see if it was there.
Is Quibi still up and functioning? Can you still
I'm
get
sure it
on
is.
Quibi?
I mean, no matter what, the name and logo is going to be worth something.
That's fair. I guess now...
It's like
after
Blockbuster. Like, the name and logo to Blockbuster in itself is probably what keeps that one Blockbuster open.
After the rush of publicity they did for it, you would hope that I mean, it's kind of like G4, right? How G4 is still, like, iconic after all these years.
Yep.
To the point
I mean,
where...
Quibi's not G4, but
No, it didn't
we
have-
know what Quibi is,
Right.
and we know what the logo looks like.
Right.
So that's inherently going to be worth something.
So, Zig, as the year wraps up here, Spotify did its weekly, roundup of your listening trends and...
Yep. My number one song was Answer to Yourself by the Soft Pack
My
this year.
number one artist trending this year, or streamed for me, was Freddie Gibbs.
Mm-hmm. I didn't check my number one artist. I just remember my number one played song was Answer to Yourself by the Soft Pack, and I got a couple of friends who messaged me screenshots of their most listened to podcast, and it was The Flood.
There you go.
With Doc and Ziggy.
Look at that. Look at that. Don't you love to see it? Don't you love to see the prosperity being reined in?
Mm-hmm. We want to say, so we set like a really low goal a couple of months ago, and we officially have broken that goal. Woo! High five!
Hey, check that out.
We
Look at
doubled
y'all,
the number
and
of
we
our
couldn't have done it
without
you
any
guys.
of y'all. We doubled the number of Spotify subscribers we had since then.
Yes. Hey, let's triple
More
that.
than double.
Let's triple that. Let's quadruple that. Get your boys on G4 TV. Hashtag get the flood on G4. No,
Let us interview Joe Rogan. We don't go on his show. He comes to us.
Let us interview Olivia Munn.
Let us interview Thurgood Marshall.
Whoa. Let us interview Jon Stewart.
And Thurgood Marshall.
But
we go viral if we interview Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, how could we not? How could we not go viral if we interviewed Jon Stewart?
I mean, I'm talking about interviewing a dead guy. And we wouldn't even go viral for the interview. It's these guys figured out how to bring people back from the dead.
I was just gonna
and the first person was Thurgood Marshall.
I was just gonna let that. I wasn't even gonna address it. I was just gonna see how long we could keep going without addressing the fact that Thurgood Marshall was dead. But speaking of dead things, let's tie up these top streaming albums of the year.
Okay.
See which ones we should put to rest here. So, number one streamed album of 2020, according to Billboard, was Post Malone's Hollywood Bleeding.
Yeah, it's fine.
Lil Baby with My Turn.
Alright, that's fine. Cool.
Did you listen to any of that?
I've listened to some Lil Baby over the year, yeah.
Roddy Ricch, please excuse me for being antisocial.
Completely clueless.
No? The Box? I just hit a leg with the box. Nope. Alright, look. Harry Styles.
Out of the box.
Wow. Taylor Swift at 5 with Folklore.
Fuck her.
Lil Uzi Vert with Eternal Take.
Eh.
Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. Pop Smoke. After Hours with The Weeknd. Number 8 with Juice WRLD. And number 10 was...
Wasn't Juice WRLD Juicy J?
No. Juice WRLD was that, young boy that died earlier on, and I want to say it was earlier on this year. He's the one on that feature with Eminem, Godzilla.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. And number 10 with Luke Combs. So country music coming in at number 10. I feel like most of this is dominated. The top 10 is, I'm surprised here, is dominated by mostly rap, pop rap, but I don't... I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised.
Pop music is rap at this point.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Billie Eilish didn't make the top 10, but she was number 11. The Hamilton soundtrack is still on here in the top 20.
Do we listen to pop music because we're miserable? Or are we miserable because we listen to pop music?
Frozen 2 soundtrack was up here at number 13.
What? Still?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Frozen 2. Yeah, Hamilton is still on here, right? So, I don't know if this is entirely reflective of people's attitudes
Does Lin-Manuel Miranda spit bars?
I would like to see him battle someone of his corny caliber.
Lil Dicky?
Ooh, that would be good. I was gonna say Chance the Rapper.
I would watch a versus of Lil Dicky and Lin-Manuel Miranda. I would totally watch that.
Would go viral. What do you think was the top, the number one song streamed out this year?
WAP.
I mean, that was fairly late in the year. It's actually Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Then Circles with Post Malone. Then Roddy Ricch at number 3 with The Box. Then Dua Lipa with Don't Start Now.
What was the Post Malone song he did with Ozzy?
Oh, God.
That one was really good. I like that one a lot.
Post Malone.
I love seeing all the tweets in the aftermath. They were like, this Ozzy guy, he's gonna go places.
Oh, it was Take What You Want.
Yeah.
That's not even in the top 20 songs of the year.
Anyway, I like that one.
You want to know what number 20 was?
What?
Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles.
You want to know what Rolling Stone considered... So they did their top 500 songs a couple of years ago. You know who had the number 1 and the number 500?
Who?
David Bowie.
Damn, for real?
Yep.
Number 1 and number 500, huh?
Mm-hmm. Man Who Sold the World. I believe it was Man Who Sold the World for number 500, and then number 1 was Heroes.
So, who do you think was the number 1 artist of this year?
Let's go with Lil Baby.
Post Malone.
Oh!
So this was the year of Post Malone, and that kind of makes sense, right? You know, staying at home, being dirty.
Yep.
Everybody just kind of in that dazed and confused lifestyle.
He looks like the guy that you would buy mids for $10 from.
Exactly, and that's been this kind of year. Hot mid.
Like that is the perfect way to describe Post Malone. He looks like the guy you buy mids from.
And it's almost the perfect way to describe this year is hot mid.
Hot mid.
Hot bunch of hot mid.
Break time. Yeah, the part that they were at Battle City, and then they just, like, stop right before the semifinals, and they're like, we're gonna go to a video game! And then it's, like, Kaiba's other brother, and then...
Oh, I don't remember that.
Exactly. And I remember it was terrible, and then I stopped watching at that point, even though I was, like, 12 or 13. And then, I'm talking to Periwinkle, and Periwinkle's like, yo, the battle between Yugi and Merrick was lit. And I was like, they actually dueled? So I go into Hulu and I go to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I scroll down through all of the episodes, and then I find an episode called Return to Battle City. And I'm like, I'm starting right there.
Oh, shit.
So I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, and that shit is hilarious. It is so fucking funny.
I have to watch it again. I started watching...
you don't need to watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
No?
You don't. It's funny, but I am not expecting you to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! again.
Yo, Attack on Titan is trending right now for some reason.
Probably because the manga...
is back out again?
I mean, they've been consistently making the manga, or...
I heard that this was the last season of the anime.
Yeah. The manga is definitely coming to an end.
I'm waiting to see if...
How far in Attack on Titan have you gotten?
Midway through season 2.
Yep, I can't say anything because there are definitely hella spoilers that I would say after that.
Okay. Alright. Well then, yeah, apparently I need to get caught up.
Hella spoilers.
I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho again.
I'm always going to approve of that. How far into that are you?
Only like 5 episodes into the beginning of the first season.
Oh, so is he still dead?
No, it's after he... he's trying to complete the first challenge, which is get those 3 artifacts back.
I love the, like, really early, like, innocent, like, spirit detective Yusuke.
Yo, I love there's something about 90s anime. We've talked about this before.
Well, Yu Yu Hakusho, you know, is my second favorite, with the first being Hunter, who is also written by Togashi.
The same guy.
Yeah.
My first favorite anime, my top favorite anime of all time, I've said this before, is Hellsing, the vampire anime.
I mean...
I've got a place in my heart for, like, mid-90s, even earlier than
I was watching some Gundam Wing earlier this week.
G Gundam, all that shit, man. It's the hand-drawn anime that I really love. You know? Like, it's just something about the scenery and the way they set, like, the mood with those, like, set pieces that... it's just...
Before they started doing that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, before it became really niche.
Well, I mean, like,
and-
we've talked about the difference between your favorite and what you consider the best.
Yeah.
Anime is the only thing that I have a layover, and I think Hunter x Hunter is I think it's the best, and it's certainly my favorite.
I don't know, because, like, you know, then you get things like Akira or, like, Perfect Blue and stuff like
Akira
that.
I set in its own category because it's a movie.
Yeah, that's fair, but I mean, it's still anime, though.
But
and it just, like...
doing something within 2 hours versus 148 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
As far as visual representation, Akira is certainly the best hand-drawn.
I'm just...
It is
yeah,
unquestionably the
that's what I'm
best
saying, like,
hand-drawn anime.
There's something about, like, the skill and the technique it takes to, like, capture some of the things that they capture in these, and, like, anime food is another thing that's always, like, trending.
Always looks better in anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but the time and the detail they take to capture, like, the essence
You see a
of
bento
Japanese
box in an
food
anime,
culture.
and you want to order a bento box.
Exactly. It's part of what, like, these weebs love about...
Have you ever watched Food Wars?
Yeah.
Foodgasms?
Yes. Like, that's my point.
Food's so good, your clothes explode off.
That's my point. Like, fucking... And then you can go from, like, Akira to Bo, and it's just, like, it's still... You're still in the same realm, right?
JoJo.
Yeah, that's the perfect combination of those two.
JoJo.
Oh, God. And just, like... I don't know, some of the fantastical elements
what's
of
your
sci-fi
favorite?
culture.
Who's your favorite JoJo? No, 2 questions.
I don't
Who is your
have
favorite
one.
JoJo, and
I don't.
what is your favorite JoJo arc?
I don't have one because I haven't gotten far enough into... JoJo is a bit much for me to digest, yo. It's one of the things that, like, I've tried several times.
Have you gotten the stands?
I don't even think I've gotten past the Hamon thing. Like, I get to... Every time I try to watch
Master
JoJo...
Zappelli
Yes.
looks like somebody who would tie your girlfriend to the train tracks.
Exactly. That's my point. It's just something so off-kilter about JoJo.
You did
that
pick
I
up
can't-
all of the, like, Western music references,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. A fucking Speedwagon and shit. Like, come on.
Zappelli? Literally added an N?
Like, come on. Yeah, no. I thought-
SCDC?
Yeah. I thought that shit was cool. Like, JoJo is one that, like, I catch episodes of, but I don't know, like, what the fuck I'm watching the entire time.
I mean, that's kind of a good way to just describe JoJo.
Yeah.
My
You'll-
favorite
you'll
JoJo.
never quite
my
know what
favorite
the fuck you're
JoJo
watching.
is Joseph, the second JoJo.
Okay.
My favorite JoJo arc is the first JoJo arc with Jonathan. Mostly just because I love Castlevania, and it's basically Castlevania.
Do you remember Shaman King?
Yup, I remember Shaman King.
They're supposed to be bringing that joint back.
It also basically stands.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, right?
Yep.
Because, like, that's where I'm comparing, I guess loosely I'm comparing it to Shaman King,
Yeah.
or my loose visual memory of Shaman King, and I'm like, that shit used to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just certain things about JoJo that I can't get past.
So we were actually looking it up the other day. So you remember, like, Jonathan's arc is like super Castlevania, right?
Yeah.
So it turns out the first issue of JoJo came out about a year after Castlevania came out.
So homage or plagiarism?
Probably, no, I think inspired by. Possibly inspired, because Jonathan's arc is so much like Castlevania.
It is, though. It is, though. I mean, Dio and the whole vampire aspect of it, right?
Yep.
Like, that's another thing I keep trying to get. So I'm like, is he a vampire? Is he a demon?
He's
is
definitely
he
a vampire.
Demon vampire?
He is a
Like,
vampire with vampire powers pushed to the extreme.
It's
And
almost
vampires
like,
are already broken.
It's almost like if the Mask turned Jim Carrey into Dracula.
I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about, like, assuming I get to pick what kind of vampire I am. I think being a vampire would actually be pretty lit.
As long as you can choose the clan that you're a part of.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be a Twilight vampire, but I would totally be a Castlevania vampire.
Or like a Blade vampire.
A Queen of the Damned vampire.
I mean, I feel like a Twilight vampire would be kind of lit, though, because they can at least walk around. They're daywalkers, right? Like,
I suppose. If I had my perfect choice, I would get to be Alucard.
ooh, which Alucard, though? Because this goes
Castlevania
into, like,
Alucard.
Nah, man. I would definitely pick fucking Helsing Alucard.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah, that's right. But, alright, so the reason you mentioned Daywalker is because Alucard can go out in the day. Since he is, like, I mean, he still has to be in, like, shade.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna, like,
that's
evaporate.
Fair. Yeah, my Alucard can't go out during the day.
No.
But he can also turn into a demon shadow dog that eats people.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
He is what I like to call, I call him a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
the way I describe things as a Yu-Gi-Oh card, it's like kind of like Billy Mays of superpowers. But wait, there's more.
There was fucking Superman in the beginning, right? That's why when people are always like, up here.
Yeah, Golden Age Superman is a cheat code.
Yeah.
Fucking cheat code.
Completely broken. Completely broken. I'm just like, you all don't realize the kind of like.
Hey, have you ever wondered what Earth 2 Doc is up to? Because I've thought about what Earth 1 Dan is up to, or Earth 2 Dan is
I
up to
try
all the
not
time.
to think about that because then I get all soul searchy and weird.
I know in Earth 2 I have a mustache.
How do you know this?
Because
you astral projecting?
evil South Park episode proved that everybody in the alternate universe has a mustache.
I already have a mustache though.
Then Earth 2 you doesn't. Earth 2 you is clean shaven.
I already don't like this guy. What kind of me is clean shaven? Ugh. Do you know what I look like clean shaven?
I feel like Earth 2 you clean shaven would be like the lawyer from the Boondocks.
Oh God, are you trying to call me an Uncle Tom? Earth 2
maybe more just an apologist.
I guess, yeah. If Earth 1 me is all rough-faced and scruff and like unapologetically black, then Earth 2 me may be
like a clean-shaven, apologetic Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh God, or like fucking Wayne Brady.
Brian Gumbel makes Wayne Brady makes Brian Gumbel look like Malcolm X.
So, in science news...
Yeah! Science!
Have you heard it? What do you know about superconductors, Zig?
I know that they are a conductor, and they are super.
So, superconductors are, I guess, modes of transporting energy.
Now, what are regular conductors? We know them as, like, the interior of wires, like copper, silver, gold, platinum, and really high energy
things that can transport energy, electrical impulses that translate into energy for things like your smartphones, and like maglev trains.
From what you've told me, is each conductor changes the amount of friction on the electricity passing through.
Yes, actually, a lot of energy is wasted because of the friction, and superconductors allow energy to pass through these modes without any friction.
So pure energy.
So essentially, I guess captured or
pure is the undiluted.
Yes, yeah, we'll say undiluted energy.
While people are gonna say that pure and undiluted are like
not the right
same thing.
Yeah, they're not
pure.
the right.
Pure has the connotation that it is incorruptible.
Or that it's coming through without any, corruption, for lack of a better word at the moment. But yeah, so they have the problem with superconductors, though, even though they allow for more, I guess, more efficient forms of energy transportation, they are super expensive to build because they require extremely cold temperatures to operate, like somewhere around the
450 below zero.
Yeah, somewhere around
Fahrenheit.
The lines of that. Fahrenheit, exactly. But they recently found a way using like hydrogen, sodium, and something else to
build a science volcano.
No, to build superconductors that operate at room temperature. So
all right, now I'm going to save that. Just remember, before you continue on superconductors, because you are going to continue on superconductors, I want to ask you what the best scientific experiment you've ever done for a science class was, but continue on superconductors.
Okay, so, yeah, with the advent of room temperature superconductors, it makes it more, I guess, productivity efficient. It's less expensive, right, to build these things now.
I don't know if less expensive to build them is the right way, but less wasteful when they are operating.
Well, it was already super expensive to build them because, like I said, they need to operate at super cold temperatures. And
so it will be cheaper, but it still may be more initially expensive.
Right. Well, the same way that, any new tech is expensive. Like 4K TVs were like $4,000.
Yeah, the longer a tech is around, the cheaper it's going to get.
But
the
my
cheaper
point
it's gonna
here
be to
is
manufacture.
superconductors will pave the way for all kinds of new technological advancements.
Yep.
We're talking quantum computers, we're talking high-speed this, fucking cell phones that charge in the blink of an eye.
Flying cars, robot maids.
What are some... I guess the best way to say the article got me thinking. What are some technologies that we haven't gotten yet that you were expecting we would have here in 2020?
Food in pill form, please give me. I ain't got time to eat a whole meal.
Is that what keeps you from eating? Is the time aspect of it?
That is one of the things. I mean, I have been gaining weight lately, so that's like cool, and I have been eating more.
Gains.
But it is annoying when I'm in the middle of something and I have to go get fucking food, and then keep one of my hands occupied at least to eat this
gamer
food.
Culture. It's totally part of gamer culture. So one technology or technological advancement.
I do the same thing when editing.
Food and pill form. I am so ready for, I guess, augmented reality to become a more widespread thing. I read an article a couple of years ago about Microsoft developing a system in conjunction with the Xbox that would allow you to augment your the room that your Xbox was in via like the Kinect and a projector mounted from like the top of your TV and stuff like that.
Wild.
So you could play video games and stuff like that. I don't know if superconductors will help in the advancements of those technologies, but like I said,
you never know.
Potential that here we could end up with like touchpad chargers that charge your phone in like under 5 minutes.
I mean, mine already charges pretty damn quick, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these lightning cables are already charging phones at full potential in like under an hour. So.
Yup. And mine's even a wireless charger at this point. I can just sit there on my computer and just use my phone like normal and just drop it right back onto the wireless charger. Sometimes I forget that it's a wireless charger and not a coaster.
I mean, we have phones. My phone now has...
I mean, it does double as a good coaster, but...
My phone now has the capability to charge other people's phones wirelessly. So with, like, superconductors in the phones, like, imagine what kind of shit you could do with that. I mean...
Think about what you can already do with your phone. That's actually future tech that I did not see the smartphone.
You didn't see the smartphone? I said this off mic earlier, but I felt like I saw the smartphone coming, especially with like tablets. I guess that's it. I saw tablets coming, right? Because like everything from Star Trek to fucking Fifth Element may have had.
Because you remember what we used the original iPhone for? Do you really remember? Look at this cool lightsaber app!
Yeah, that kind of the flash
gun app!
The coin flip app and shit. Like, yeah, early. Now, like, that's what I'm saying though. Like, we're getting to the point now where these smartphones can measure whole, like, surface areas and, like, layouts of rooms and stuff like that. So, we're now unveiling all these 5G technologies, and if these superconductors, these room temperature superconductors, get to a point where we can build like servers and stuff that operate off of this shit, it won't be long before we have quantum computing.
And you know, prosthetic bodies that you can drop your brain into.
I already said, didn't we talk about this last
Yeah, I don't want to live in Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know. If my body can feel at a rate where I guess even if I could get like stabbed and still feel it, like that's a dark place.
I mean, like Killer Mike said on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was like, I know I reference this interview all the time, but you guys should watch it. It's a really good interview.
I mean, I've referenced Behind the Bastards all the time.
But like, I mean, like that one specifically. Yeah. Killer Mike was like, yeah, you know, if I'm about to die, like, and I got some stuff I gotta do, yeah, and drop me in a robot for a couple of years.
I feel the same way, you know. I'm like, look, there's so much that happens here, like. What? The average lifespan is what? Like, for a man is like 60, 70 years old? 84?
It's gotta be like 75.
I mean,
modern.
You need to Google it.
Like, modern medicine has come a pretty far way. And it, you know, it's come a far way.
What is the average lifespan for the American male?
The 2017 average life expectancy in the United States of America
Oh shit,
is
79.
4 years, according to World Development Indicator.
So 78, 79, depending on how you live your lifestyle. So, I mean, yeah, it's higher than what I said it was, but I still feel like it was lower. What did you say it was?
I said 75.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I still feel like that's not enough time for me to do what I gotta do, yo. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day.
I haven't jumped off a building yet.
How the fuck am I supposed to establish an empire?
I guess when I do that, it could be when I'm 75.
Wow, that was dark. That was dark.
So I remember in Spanish in high school, there was a project where we had a timeline of our entire lives, including into the future. But I was clever and lazy, so I had myself curing AIDS on my 22nd birthday, and then dying in a skydiving accident the day after.
Wow.
So I only had to do like 10 events. It was great. I got an A.
Of course.
Also, like, a note, like, are you okay?
Yep. I was gonna
but
say.
Here's
you
the really
didn't get an
weird
evaluation
thing.
after that?
I won a Buffalo Wild Wings, like, contest for, like, football or something like that.
Wow.
And the one that I got was a free flying lesson.
Oh,
and this is when I was 21, and I was like,
no.
I don't know about this. I did not end up using it.
Yeah, nah. See, that's one of them things that, like, I've always thought I would go skydiving.
It's like, it may be a coincidence, it may also be a sign.
Same thing I feel about bungee jumping, right? Like, yeah, part of me wants to try it. The other part of me feels like, why put yourself in situations like that?
You know what I feel like the worst part of bungee jumping would be? The first sling back.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like all the blood would rush to your head, and you probably black out by like the third bungee down.
With my sinuses, I probably black out halfway down. Like, anything that comes, like, that involves me being upside down doesn't work out well for my nose.
So, I told you, like, I go hiking Patapsco.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a spot where, like, you can actually swim. Like, it's really, like, a 9 feet deep spot of the river.
Oh, okay.
And there's, like, 15 feet above, there's a bridge, an overpass where people drive.
Yeah.
So you can jump from the overpass into the water.
That's a far drop.
And it's like a 15-foot drop. And, like, for the first halfway down, you think you're gonna die. And then for the second way down, you kind of just accept that you might die. And then when you come up, you're like, that was a blast!
Yep, I didn't hit my head on a rock.
Well, you pencil dive. You're not an idiot and dive.
I might have died.
You see, like, I'm so tall that I can't dive unless it's like a 13-foot pool.
That's fair. Yeah,
or I have to do, like, the long dive. Which, I mean, like,
you try and flatten out halfway
the thing is, like, I don't know if I've told you, but, like, I'm a really, really good swimmer.
I'm not surprised.
Like, my first house that I grew up in, like, we had a pool. I was taught, I was taken for swimming lessons when I was, like, 4 or 5 at, I can't remember the name.
Did you do it through school, or?
No, it was just, like, my parents took me, and I was, like, 4 or 5, and they taught me how to swim in his pool, but, like, barely remember. But then we started, like, summer camp. They take you to the pool, and you're like, here, learn how to swim.
Yeah, I remember doing, like, dry.
But it was me and, like, 2 or 3 other people who were so far ahead of all of the kids that it got to, like, you know, like, the 4th, 5th grade year of summer camp. So, like, we've all been together for, like, 5 years at this point. And they're just like, we have nothing more in the curriculum to teach you, so we're just going to teach you guys how to be lifeguards.
Damn.
And we're, like, 12.
Well, that's how you make some quick extra money at 12.
But, so, yeah, if you're ever drowning, I got you.
Yeah, I got you covered. Certificate that says, I'm good, B.
But, yeah, like, I love the water.
Yeah.
Like, when I was able to actually just, like, go swimming, it was so, like, mentally calming.
Clearing, yeah. No, I feel you. It's something like that about being on the beach for me.
I'm a water sign, so...
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just an Aquarius.
I'm just a crab. A Cancer crab with a shell that doesn't protect them from any emotional pain whatsoever.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's something there. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Flood.
Just remember that follow us at The Flood Pod on everything. We follow our followers.
Always.
Remember, none of this is normal.
Take care of yourself.
Deuces.
Look, it's a flood.
The flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Star?
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.